We had a presentation from Poland, and now it's time for Hungary. The gentleman from Greenman Company, Mr. Andras Hidas, will give his presentation. Feel invited.
Thank you very much. And Mr. President and ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to say thanks for coming here and getting the possibility to give a lecture about our experiences in Hungary in the agriculture. And first of all, I would like to modify my title because in the meanwhile I recognize that it is too short time to talk about all the agricultural experiences what we had in Hungary with this great technology. First of all, I would like to introduce a bit myself. My career was done in the agricultural research and development all the time, especially in poultry and animal husbandry field. I was mostly focusing on genetics, molecular genetics, and practical breeding questions, management. Also, we had some experiences with probiotics as feed additives, and also antioxidants in the feed and their physiological effects. I met this technology 5 years ago, and as usual I was quite skeptic, and I thought that even in this case, if there is a small chance that these things what I read about this technology is true, then we should take it seriously into consideration in the Hungarian agriculture. That's why I'm focusing now, especially for the animal husbandry, because I think it is the most challenged part of the agriculture in Hungary in several point of view shows this, that for example in profitability and food safety issues and also animal health problems and animal welfare questions, they are very serious in Hungarian agriculture in several species. That's why I thought that we have some sensitive areas where we can test this technology. First of all, in Hungary, the rabbit production, it is very important still nowadays. We are very strong exporters, Western countries in rabbit, and there are still a lot of large farms doing this business. But as the demands from the authorities and also the consumers is increasing, concerning the food safety as biologically and also chemically, I mean the drug residues, and also other questions as a welfare. So we have large problems in rabbit production. If this tendency from the authorities and consumers is continuing, it could mean that in Europe we should give up the rabbit production. We should know that it is the most sensitive animal, so they are using maybe the most chemicals, antibiotics, disinfectants in the productions comparing to other species, and it is very difficult to reduce these compounds in the production. So that's why we have huge challenges in this field. We introduced in a farm this technology only with spraying the stable with SCD product, and we had after 1 year we had a very good results for the farmer, and actually not only the small results, which are not so small, like viability, feed conversion ratio, and so on, but when they consider the overall profitability of the whole farm, comparing the inputs and outputs, so there were the really great results, because the small part results, they summed up, and finally it was a very good result, and that's why one of the two biggest integration, rapid breeding integration in Hungary introduced in all of the plants this technology. And that's why they, for example, they made this investment, they put in these sprayer machines, stable sprayer machines, humidifiers, to use it regularly, this material. The next field, which might be also interesting for Polish farmers, because goose production also very strong in Poland, also in Hungary. We are big exporters in goose products, both meat and liver, fatty liver products. So we had a nice adventure, because we had an integration who is producing a large amount of fatty liver, and they had a very big problem. Originally it should be a simple problem, but there was a very strong aspergillosis infection, recurrent infection in one of their farms, and they couldn't do anything about it. They used a lot of formalin, other disinfectants, so they were almost killing the animals with chemicals and drugs, but still the fungi remained. Very shortly after starting using this technology, this fungi has disappeared from the farm, and also at the same time they recognized a lot of other side effects of this technology. Since then, it was several years ago, and since then they have a lot of good experiences with this material, but they still don't really know what is the real benefit of this technology. So we are still working on to show them what are the improvements on their farms. But one of the most interesting results, the latest result, is really the intestinal infections problems in goose stocks, where they found really very good results. And that's why it is very good that we can use it also in drink water, the probiotic, this Polish product, because it is now acknowledged in Hungary also by the authorities, and it can be officially used also in drink water, and we have a very good results about it. It is also from the waterfall business. It is a very interesting field. The hatchery hygienic problems, they are quite common, especially in the waterfall field. We should know that the waterfall eggs, duck and goose, they are very much polluted, so quite different hygienic level as compared to the layer hen. So they are very polluted. So it means that even if we treat them with different disinfectants, so it doesn't help too much, because the organic material is on the surface of the egg, and it provides a very good food for the pathogenic microbes during the hatching. You know, the hatching in the waterfalls, there are 4 weeks at high temperature, high humidity. It is a very good environment for any kind of microbes. So that's why they have a great losses from these problems during the hatching, because they cannot use too much chemicals during the hatchings, because they can kill also the embryos. So that's why they were interested in testing this technology, because in this way we can continuously apply this almost biological sanitizing material during the hatching. So since then they are now using for cleaning the equipment, the whole hatchery building, and every field, and also in the waterfall they are regularly cooling the eggs with water, so it also contains this material, and they got a very good microbiological results. So Enterococcus and coli disappeared from the hatchery practically. So it is very good, and also the result of the hatching is improving. Other interesting field here, they have a lot of problems with the hatchery vestige. dead embryos and eggshells and so on. So they are very, very dangerous materials. They can carry infectious agents, and they are very good food also, the microbes, and a lot of flies and smells and so on. And they could solve with this material very efficiently as well. So it is, I can say it is very well spreading this usage in the Hungarian hatcheries. Other interesting field which is also very strong in Poland, the honeybee production. We made a small experiment because we are also facing a huge problem in the honeybee, this honeybee family collision syndrome. You might heard about it, so which is worldwide causing very huge losses in the United States, Western Europe, thousands of families dying, and the reasons still not really clear for the researchers. But we guess that there are a general loss of resistance, viability of the honeybees, and that's why they had a reduced viability, and they cannot stand that performance what they do for collecting the honey. A small part of this problem, there's different infections in honeybee. One of them is this fungi, which is quite dangerous, and we had a very good in vitro result with this fungi. So we could almost completely stop the fungi development in vitro culture. Another case, as I mentioned, that we had a huge challenges is the Salmonella question, which is taken very seriously nowadays in the European community. So the Hungarian poultry producers, they are very seriously challenged by this problem, because they cannot really solve the Salmonella problem in their farms. So we already know from the literature that we have hope against the Salmonella with this technology. And that's why we made also some in vitro tests which are very promising, and we are planning great research projects concerning these problems, because so not only the Salmonella elimination is important, but also keeping the drug usage very low to avoid the drug residues in the products. So it is also a very promising field, and also it might be very important almost all the other European countries as well. Finally, a small experiment concerning the ammonia control, which is a well-known effect of this technology, and we have serious problems, especially because we, first of all, we have to explain the farmers that what the ammonia means for the production and the animal health and welfare as well, not mentioning the environmental issues. We have very good experiences, but we need more research on this field, because we found that it is the effect of the ammonia control is highly dependent on the litter management, especially in the poultries which are kept in litter. So very shortly, these are most promising results from the animal husbandry, and what is the message from these experiences for us. And I want to share with you that we have to get the consumers to look after not only the specific issues what they are solving with this technology, but the overall changes in the production. As I mentioned in the rabbit production, the highest success was the overall evaluation of the material, because these small positive effects put together that made really huge changes in the profitability, safety of the production, and food safety and welfare, and so on and so on. So we have to evaluate in a complex way this complex technology in a complex environment like agriculture or animal husbandry. So thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you for your very interesting